When we think about conscious manifestation, most of us immediately picture vision boards, affirmations, meditation, and energy alignment. We become highly focused on inner work, on cultivating clarity, belief, and elevated states of emotion. And that's a beautiful thing. That commitment to intentional living is what sets conscious creators apart from passive wishers. But there's something that often goes unnoticed and yet holds significant weight: the relationships we maintain, especially our friendships. It's almost paradoxical. We'll spend hours fine-tuning our vibration, scripting out ideal scenarios, or aligning our beliefs with our goals, and then casually hang out with people whose energy is in direct contradiction to everything that we're trying to create. Friendship is not just social comfort, it's energetic influence. The people closest to us aren't just background characters in our personal evolution. They're shaping our field constantly. Every interaction you have with a friend is either reinforcing your desired reality or anchoring you into an outdated one. And it's subtle. It's not always obvious, like overt negativity or toxic drama. Often it's micro signals, dismissive energy, low-level comparison, recurring patterns of emotional avoidance. So the question becomes, if relationships are part of our energetic ecosystem, why aren't we treating them with the same level of intentionality that we bring to the rest of our practice?
That is a vital question. I think one reason we often overlook is because friendships are deeply woven into our lives in ways we sometimes take for granted. Unlike romantic partnerships or business relationships, friendships can seem casual, low stakes, or optional. But in the realm of conscious creation, nothing is optional when it comes to frequency. Everything counts. Every conversation, every feeling, every point of connection affects the feels. And here's something I've noticed consistently with conscious creators. A lot of the blocks they think are internal, low motivation, self-doubt, emotional exhaustion, aren't always about mindset or beliefs. They're about being energetically entangled in misaligned dynamics. Now, let me be clear, this isn't about blaming people or cutting everyone off who don't share your spiritual goals. It's about recognizing where the energy flows easily and where it keeps looping you back into old emotional patterns. Energetic alignment friendships are stabilizing. They help calm the nervous system, reinforce expansion, and make it easier to stay connected to your vision. When someone sees your growth without flinching, celebrates your wins without competition, and listens to you with presence rather than performance, it builds a very powerful resonance. That's not just emotional support, it's actually energetic coherence. And in contrast, relationships where we feel drained, unseen, or held to past versions of ourselves, those can distort our signal without us even realizing it. You can be doing all of the right manifestation practices, but if the relational energy around you is misaligned, you'll feel stuck. Not because you're failing, but because your environment isn't matching the frequency you're trying to embody.
And that stuckness, it's often misdiagnosed as burnout or spiritual fatigue, when it's really just social dissonance. We're trying to grow, but our friendships are based on who we used to be. What makes this tricky is that most people were never taught how to build friendships that evolve. We know how to make friends. We don't always know how to keep evolving with them. We aren't taught how to hold space when someone we love grows into something unfamiliar. We aren't taught how to say, "I love who you're becoming," instead of trying to pull them back into shared familiarity. And this creates a silent pressure. We either stay small to preserve the connection, or we start ghosting people out of avoidance. Neither approach serves the field. True aligned friendships require growth on both sides. They're built on conscious presence, emotional honesty, and a shared commitment to mutual expansion. That doesn't mean constant deep talks or spiritual analysis. Sometimes it's just lightness, laughter, a connection that lets your system breathe. And yet, how often do we prioritize that kind of connection? We'll spend the money on coaches, courses, and even crystals. But when it comes to friendship, we're casual. We assume good ones just happen. But in reality, like everything in conscious creation, aligned friendship is intentional.
And part of that intention involves what I call an energetic audit. This doesn't mean ruthlessly evaluating everyone in your life. It means pausing to notice how you feel after you've been around someone. Does your energy feel lighter or does it feel heavier? Do you feel expanded or contracted? Inspired or subtly diminished? It's not about right or wrong people, it's about recognizing patterns. If you leave every interaction with a particular person feeling drained, on edge, or disconnected from your vision, that data matters. We can't afford to ignore those signals and still claim we're fully aligned. Another subtle drain comes from emotional suppression in friendships. When we stop speaking honestly, when we avoid saying what's true for us just to keep the peace, we're lowering our vibration in tiny frequent doses. That level of inauthenticity might not blow up the friendship, but it does erode the energetic integrity of your field. And the reverse is also true. Friendships where there's emotional transparency, mutual witnessing, and shared joy, those are vibrationally nourishing. They don't just support you during hard times, they stabilize your expansion. Because here's something few people talk about. Success is vulnerable. Joy is vulnerable. When things are going well, you need friends who can hold that light with you, without resentment, without comparison, without discomfort. The ability to say, it's happening, I manifested it, and have someone glow with you, well, that moment is pure coherence. It's rare and it is sacred.
And it's a kind of resonance that can't be faked or forced. It comes from mutual alignment. That's why part of our responsibility as conscious creators is to actively create environments, internally and externally, that reinforce the life we're calling in. We can't expect to attract soul-aligned opportunities while maintaining surface level or emotionally misaligned friendships. So, what does that look like in practice? It means being as intentional with your social time as you are with your meditation or visioning. It means making space for the friends who uplift you and gradually releasing ones who pull your energy sideways. It means learning how to communicate openly, supportively, and honestly without avoiding hard conversations. And above all, it means recognizing that friendship is a part of your spiritual practice. It's not separate from manifestation, it's manifestation in motion. Every friend who truly sees you is reinforcing your build. Every supportive conversation is tuning your signal. Every aligned connection is evidence that your new identity is landing. You don't need to do this work alone. You never did.
That's the heart of it. Manifestation isn't a solo sport, it's relational. It's about how we show up with life, with others, and ourselves. And friendship, when it's conscious, is one of the most powerful tools we have to stay aligned, clear, and receptive. So if you're listening to this and wondering what your next step is, maybe it's not another technique or visualization, maybe it's a conversation. Maybe it's showing up more fully for someone who matters. Maybe it's being brave enough to ask for what you need, or honest enough to say what's no longer aligned. Because your field doesn't just respond to what you want, it responds to what you allow. And the relationships you maintain are always shaping the energy you're living in. Friendship isn't a luxury. It's not background noise. It's either a frequency medicine or a frequency toxin. So honor it, make space for it, choose it with intention, and then your relationships reflect not just who you've been, but who you're becoming.
Thanks for tuning in. If this brought you any clarity or resonance, feel free to share it with someone who might benefit too. And if you'd like more conversations like this, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. Take care of your energy and the company you keep. Until next time, think differently, dream boldly, and create consciously.
I'm a quiet rebel, I don't need a shower. Changing the world from the inside out. No fists in the